They don't have a chair for Skeletor?
What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Cinema Chop Shop and Movie Mass Reviews proudly presents to you the masters of the Cineverse. How you guys doing today? We are here live. We got a ton of topics. But before we start, I want to introduce myself. I am Davey from the 80s from Cinema Chop Shop. And this guy over here is Del Boy from Movie Mash Reviews. Go ahead, sir.
Hi there, I'm Del Boy from the 70s, and I'm over at Movie Mash. And if you're watching over here, make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed, do it now. What are you waiting for?
Exactly.
And jump over to Cinema Shop Shop. I'm going to put a link below. If you're on my channel, check his out. It's not as good as mine. People will know that already, but you know. Now, I want to ask you a question, Davey. How are
What's
you?
up? I'm doing fine today. But let's have a bigger question. How are you guys in the chat today? I see we are here. We're deep. You know, shout out to the Horror Resurrection crew and everybody else. But I have a question for you guys in the chat, real quick. Who has Netflix? Show of hands, raise a hand, throw a thumb up, throw some kind of sign. If you have Netflix, oh, what's up, Tyler? We still got to do that track together. Who has Netflix? Show a hand, show a symbol, do drop something. Let me see it. Who has Netflix?
We're going to talk about something.
Giselle got Netflix. Miss T said, I'm about to cancel that shit. Yeah, you heard
Well,
me?
you might cancel it when I've got to tell you what's coming happening with the last few days.
Hey, Nori, Dalton.
Nora, hello, Nora. I know Nora. How you doing? Cheers for coming.
Hey, how you doing?
I was going to say,
CLJ's in the house. What's up?
It wouldn't be a party until it wasn't a party until CLJ turns up, and that's for sure.
Miss T is in the house. Let's see. The Irish Jim is in the house. Yeah, what's going on, guys? Tyler's in the house. That's what's up. Giselle is in the house. Hey, let's go. We are here. We deep in this thing, huh? What's going on? I appreciate you guys coming through. Now, for those of you that have Netflix, we have something to tell you because the price of Netflix done went up. Dilbo, you want to go ahead and break it to them?
All right. So first of all, for people who don't know, on last Thursday, Netflix decided to bring out a new tier. Now it's depending where you are, it's between £5 and £6 or dollar. Again, depends where you are. And a lot of people are going great, but the problem is, and most people know, it involves adverts. Now the adverts are on this, and it's going to be about 5 minutes per.
AKA ads. For those of you that know what adverts are, ads. They're going to run ads on your shit.
Right. And I don't know if they're going to be one commercial or two, whatever. But it's going to be 5 minutes over an hour. A lot of people know this and they're jumping on and they're happy with that, and that's fine. But what they didn't know, now Netflix has said this, but nobody seems to have realized this. There is a lot of restrictions, right?
Yes, lots.
What a lot of people didn't know, and including myself, to be honest with you, was let me get this up. Right. So for £5 or $7, whatever it is, let me just get this up here. Right. So $5, what you get is there is a number of shows that you cannot watch.
TV shows and movies.
There's a number, and some of them are kind of
important. They're very popular.
Yeah, you know, like let me just get this up.
And then, as Tyler also mentioned, a lot of people are saying in the chat, it's only 720p. That's also bad as hell.
That was the killer for me. But all right, so House of Cards, Arrested Development, and Pinky Blinders in the UK is quite a big deal, and it's really popular. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but when you get the £5 tier, you can't watch this. New Girl, don't know it. Magicians, not sure. The Last Kingdom, The Sinner, Friday Night Lights, Good Girl, The Queen of the South, and The Good Place. And there is more, but I suppose you'll find out. Now, Netflix ain't been a prick on purpose. Yeah, they're not doing it to be. It's down to licensing. What happens is there's a lot of shows that go to Netflix that say, yeah, I want you to stream our stuff, but no adverts. And if you put adverts on it, we want a taste of that advert. You know, we want a cut or whatever the advert's paying. Now, if you pay them a percentage for having something on House of Cards, Pinky Blinders, then Netflix ain't going to be able to give you the £5 tier. So it's one of those. It's yes, you know. Now, is it worth it? I don't know. Time will tell.
I
But what
don't.
killed it for me was the 720p, and you can only give it to one. I mean, sorry, I won't say give it to one person. You're only allowed to
Oh
have
yeah,
your
the password.
password. You're only allowed to have one password, where the $20 one, 20 quid one
Which
is
is
five.
ridiculous.
Yeah, so
This
they
is super
restrict.
ridiculous.
But is
But
it worth?
also, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
No. Is it worth? Do you think it's worth it for a fiver, for $7? What do you
Hell
reckon?
no, no, like not at all. Like here's the thing: Netflix came into this game, and the reason why a lot of people kind of levitated towards it was because it was reasonably priced. Like it was reasonable. People were like, "Oh, that's a fucking steal." Like we can watch and stream whatever we want, and like all we got to do is pay this. That's cool. That's the reason that they put Blockbuster in the ground and all them other like home rental companies. But now that they're getting greedy and it's like you want to run, and then not to mention these ads, everybody, these ads are going to be 5 to 6 minute per like stream, so like imagine you're watching like a 20-minute show. You're going to get 5 minutes worth of ads in that 20-25 minute show. That's a lot. That's a very long ad to deal with, right? Not like literally you're going to get one long 5-minute ad. I mean, like you're going to get several ads that accumulate up to about 5 to 6 minutes. That's a lot, like, and Netflix, like I said, prided itself in being cheap and being affordable and being kind of like for the people. And now they're just kind of going the route where it's like it's all about the money again,
Yeah. Well, again, some people adverts don't bother people, and that's fine. It doesn't. But what really killed it for me was the 720p. It's like you've got a 4K TV, and don't get me wrong, I watch a lot of stuff in 1080p. A lot of Netflix stuff is only 1080p, but you can forget about 4K and you can forget about 1080p if you're going with
but
that.
it's like 720. Like, damn, you putting us back into the Stone Ages. Like, I haven't seen 720. Like, only time you see 720p is like when you're watching something, your connection is bad, and like they have to like downgrade it to 720p because your connection sucks.
And the ghosts in the background and stuff.
Exactly, but it's like
look that bad, but still
4K is like the new wave, so it's kind of surprising that they would even. I think the 720p is a slap in the face. I really do. I think it's a slap in the face to all the people subscribing to this. I think it's a slap in the face to everybody that's bought Netflix since the beginning. It's a complete spit in their face. That's what I think.
Do you think the 20 is it £20 dollars wherever you are? Do you think that's worth Netflix? Do you think
hell
Netflix,
no, $20 a month? Is it a month?
It's about that now. It's coming.
Hell no, that's a lot. Dude, look, I'd rather go the Fire Stick route.
They do give. There is a lot on there though, But the problem is with all the. Oh, by the way, just for everyone know, next year Disney's going up in price. So make sure you know this. It will be going up in price. Don't know what it is. But
most of the streaming services are going up. This inflation is ridiculous
now, and it's like if you have them all, it's going to cost you quite a lot of money to have all these streaming services. Like Amazon is still pretty decent. I'm not sure how much that is, but you've got Paramount. We don't have HBO Max. Sorry, he doesn't. Us here in the UK, when we say H, we say H. There it's H. But anyway, but there's quite a few, and if you did get them all, it's quite expensive. Netflix, I do think they do give you a lot. I mean, there is a lot there for 20. I mean, like if you went to Blockbuster back in the day, you ain't gonna get shit for £3.50 for a couple of nights. You got to look at it that way. There is a lot on there. It's just hard for people like to get used to the fact that it's 20 and it feels a lot. But the £5 tier, I understand people may think, oh, I want to pay less, but the 720p and like you don't even know what you can't see yet, and that would be a kick in the teeth. That would really annoy me. So
Carl Phillip just made a really good point. He says, and on top of this, Netflix keeps canceling shows. So it's like, how are you going to like charge us more? And it's like you keep canceling TV shows. Like, I mean, I don't know if I'm the only one, but fucking what's that show called? The one about the serial killers. It's gonna bug me now. Good Lord. And they had Ted Bundy and all these other people on there. Not Ted Bundy, I'm sorry. They had help me out, chat. The one about the serial killers. And they had Charles Manson on it, and it's like the FBI agents, and they go and they're interviewing the serial killer.
A documentary or a TV show?
No, it's a TV show.
All right.
It's about like it's gonna bug me now. Good Lord, what is the name of it? Hey, help me out, chat. But anyway, that show's really good, and it's been in limbo for like Mindhunter. Thank you, Carl Phillip. Mindhunter. That is a freaking excellent show, and it's been in limbo since after the second season ends. Thank you, Irish Jim. Yes, everybody just tuning in. Giselle, Mindhunter. Yes, everybody, Mindhunter. That is an amazing freaking show. And the third season has been in freaking limbo, and it left on a crazy cliffhanger. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, yo, what are we doing here? Like, why does Netflix keep like shelving these shows or like pausing these shows when it's like obviously people are enjoying it? They even had to cut Atypical. They cut that show short.
I can tell you why.
Why?
Netflix. If the ratings for a TV show on Netflix go through the roof, it means nothing to Netflix. Each show is all about how many new people subscribe to the subscribers. Is that the right way? Is that the right way to whoever joins Netflix? And that's what it's about. They're more interested in people that join because of a show rather than. I mean, look at nothing really passes 5 seasons on Netflix, right? And it's because the ratings, they don't get nothing from the views. They get more people joining. And when a show isn't bringing in enough people to subscribe, then they just drop it. It's not worth it doesn't matter how many ratings, it's not just getting the subscribers. And that's why so if that's getting loads of ratings but no one's coming in new to watch it, they don't care.
And then not to mention the gaps in between these shows. Like, I mean, we literally have like a year away from the next Cobra Kai. You have damn near 2 years away from the next Stranger Things. I mean, you know, these shows are having like huge hiatus breaks. And you really want us to pay like this top tier dollar for all of this? I mean, we waiting for the next Squid Games to drop. They canceled Ozark, according to Paul Thurling.
Yeah, well, yes, yeah, they did. They come to it. It wasn't bringing enough people in as well, you know. And I don't think they promoted that TV show well enough. Nobody knew about it, you know. So they don't promote things a lot. But as I say, look, I'm on the fence about it because I do think, even though I'm bored of Netflix at the moment, I do think there is a lot there. And for 20, we'll say £5 a week, yeah, is a lot. But the problem is that 90 or say 80% of the stuff can be kind of boring and shit, you know. But the point is, there's a lot. But my question is to you guys, for people who will watch this later on and who ain't live, do you think this is a good idea with the £5 tier? Are you up for it? Do you care? Does it mean anything to you? Do you even have Netflix? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe. Now, for the people in the comments,
let's go through some comments real quick.
Let's see what you got.
Right. Let's see. We got a lot. We got a whole lot. There's a whole lot of talking here, and I love it. All right. So
Brilliant.
All right, so let's go. Carl says Netflix ain't good as it used to be. Ms. T says, screw that. I'd rather watch my shows illegally. This one, Jim says, Peaky fucking blinders, mate. And then he said, if is the accent. I don't know. I think I'll have to stick to Joe Flicks. And they keep canceling shows, says Carl.
As I said, then, if they're not bringing in if they're not getting new subscribers from a show, they cancel it.
And then he says right here, look, I like this one. Nothing worth it's as only 720 as most larger 50+ inch TVs that are 1080p and 4K is going to look really bad. That's true, right? With all the TVs going up in like the quality, it's going to look even worse.
That's what I mean. And 8K is out now as well. So I agree. I mean, again, like 720p is the one that's what just went, no, that was out. I was out. That was it. Pro section isn't that great.
Rom-com about college gymnastics. What?
Good.
Let's see what else. I love HBO Max, says Carl.
We haven't got that here.
HBO.
HBO, like Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. And then Paul says they cancel Urarg. Giselle says an archive or case 88. Archive 88. See, I didn't like Archive 88, to be honest with you. She also said she loved Atypical. Didn't it feel like they rushed Atypical? Where Perp Minded at? What's the shout out to Perp Minded? You popped in on us. I pay for YouTube Premium, but I really use it. $14.99 for Amazon. Still a lot cheaper than Sky. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is actually, to be fair, Sky. But if you got all the streaming services together and bought them all, it'd probably be the equivalent of Sky. Probably. Sky.
Justin popped in and said, "What's up, fellas?"
Hello, Justin. Glad you popped in. How you
And
doing?
just to say hello. Somebody said that Netflix saved Cobra Kai. I don't want to say that. I don't think that. I think that's kind of a reach. I don't think Netflix saved Cobra Kai. I think Cobra Kai.
All right.
Good regardless.
Netflix helped Cobra Kai because when it was on YouTube, not many people had even heard of it and even when it first came on Netflix, people still didn't know about it. But Netflix seemed to kind of spread the word a bit more. Nobody had YouTube Premium. Nobody has or will. There's nothing really worth getting YouTube Premium only for not watching the adverts. And it's quite expensive, to be honest, YouTube Premium.
Yeah, Per Minder said if you don't got a 4K TV, you shouldn't even be looking at the premium option. Damn, but that's true though. That's the truth. I ain't gonna lie about that. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm not feeling this Netflix thing, this changing Netflix. I don't know if you guys are. I think it's a bad look. I'm glad that you guys are freaking chiming in. But let's see. Dale boy, you want to shuffle us into the next topic?
Right. Well, I was going to talk about a little. We got a few things to talk about. We got Harry Potter Returns. Let me tell you what I know about it. We got talk about Avatar, the new trailer, and what James Cameron has been saying. We've got what's his name? Terrifier for the Oscars. That's actually a thing. And we've got more to talk about with was it A Quiet Place? But
let's dive into the horror topics real quick. Just to satisfy.
We're going to jump into Scream now. Scream news. Boom. Was they've given us a new date, which I found funny.
They pushed it earlier.
They've pushed it earlier, but get this right. Let me see what it says. Good news for Ghostface fans. We're going to the new Scream in a few weeks sooner than expected. Now, it went from March the 10th, if you can see that there, to March the 23rd. And I'm 31st, sorry.
That's not much.
And I was like, big news. First of all, I haven't seen the last one, and I wasn't sure when this one was coming out, right? But when I see, oh shit, all right, so it's March. And then I read, I'm like, hold on. 13 days, breaking news. All right, but what do you think anyway? What do you think about all that? Is it worth breaking news? Is it even
well, I mean, look, here's the thing. I'm happy that it actually came out sooner. That's cool, even though it's only a couple of weeks. Now, here's the thing though. Even though it's just a couple of weeks earlier, that kind of raises my eyebrow. I'm kind of worried about if they're rushing this movie. And
after the last one is quite fast.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like maybe they're rushing this movie. Like I get it, like horror movies can be done in a very, very small time frame, but at the same time, you know, like this is supposed to be a bigger movie. Like this is Scream, and I believe he's hitting like New York, right? This is Scream happening in New York from what I'm hearing. And how are we gonna like I'm like thinking like this is a big setting. This isn't like a small setting like the other Screams, if we're doing it in New York City, that is. So if this is the case, then I don't know. I don't know if like speeding up the drop time is good, you know.
It never seems to be a year, even a week or two, it doesn't matter. It's a year, roughly a year after the last one. And unless they have the story pre-done, everything sorted, then fine. But it always seems like a year is a bit too fast for any film to be coming out. Now, we could be wrong, but me and you are experienced and we're experts. Never really that good. But I will say some breaking news that people don't know. Neve Campbell, the star of most of the Screams, will not be on this.
Yeah.
She met Davey from the 80s, met Neve Campbell, and she said to him, she goes, I am not going to be on Scream 6. And then she quietly whispered into his ear, have you got Del Boy's phone number? And he was like, I can't give you that. It's true. I'm glad you didn't, because you know them celebrities time and shit, you know, it gets on my nerves. But he did actually meet Neve Campbell.
Yeah, I met Neve Campbell at a convention earlier this year. And it was crazy too, because I'm mad because I'm there enjoying my time at the freaking convention. And the story that she broke to me, some dude overheard it, and then that was all over Twitter, and it freaking blew up everywhere. It became like this huge freaking story.
You didn't. you thought you'd be nice and keep it, like not telling her my phone number as well. But all right. But as I said, look, I don't know how much more we can spend on talking because we don't know a lot. All we know is it's a week early. What was the date again?
March what? March
March
what?
the 10th
March
next
the
year,
10th.
right? So I don't know. Are you looking forward to it? Do you guys care? I mean, let us know in the comments below.
Because what's her? I think Gail Weathers is supposed to be in this one, but Neve Campbell isn't coming back.
She's definitely not in it, and I haven't even seen the last one. I'm hearing the last one's all right though.
And Neve had the come back again at another convention because they said that, oh, breaking news, Neve Campbell in the studio reached like a contract where she could be in a Scream movie for a little bit, and then they turned around and she was like at a convention, she was like, no, we did not reach a freaking contract. I'm not gonna be in that movie. Like that's fake news. Like she had to really like literally tell them, but I don't know. But see, the good thing about the Scream franchise is it has that that young lady that's been in. She was in Pearl. She's Wednesday Adam. Chad, help me out here. I'm bad with names. You already know that. So go ahead. What's her name? You know who I'm talking about. You guys know who I'm talking about. She's Wednesday Adams, and she's also in Pearl, and she's also been in Studio 666.
She's not going out with Shia LaBeouf, is she?
Is this what's her name? Sophia? Is it?
I'm not sure. Sorry, mate. Don't even know.
Oh, Jenna Ortega. Thank you. Jenna Ortega. Jenna Ortega's in this movie, right? She's been in Scream, so she's kind of becoming a household name for horror movies. I don't know if you guys are catching that, but Jenna Ortega has been all over the place. Not Mia Goth. No, not Mia Goth. Not Mia Goth.
Mia Goth, right?
Mia Goth is the old lady from Pearl.
Well,
but go ahead.
I was going to say is look. Let us know in the comments. What do you think? I mean, are you looking forward to Scream 6? Do you care? Do you think it's a bit too soon, or do you don't? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're not watching live, watching later on, please like and subscribe and hit that subscribe button right there. Now, moving along, we've got
dinner. Is it that? Hopefully. I thought it was my homie. But go ahead.
Quiet Place Part 3 actually going to be called A Quiet Place Day 1. Now it was just announced that, take it from me because you know what I'm like with this girl's name.
Oh, Lupita Nyong'o. She's from Wakanda Forever, and then she's also in Us, Jordan Peele's Us,
and 12 Years a Slave.
Oh yeah, she was in 12 Years a Slave, huh?
Yeah, right. Right, so this is what my point is about this, right? So the bar is very high when it comes to A Quiet Place 1 and 2, and now the family that was in the first two, Kate, what's her name, Emily Blunt, and what's the guy's name? Well, the guy who wrote it.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. Well, anyway, he didn't write this, but it's his idea. Now, it's going to be based as Day 1, like I said, but it's going to be in the same universe. That family's not going to be in it. It's going to be a different story in that same timeline, you know, whether there's any mixture and all that. But what my point is that
John Krasinski.
Yeah. The bar is very high when it comes to, and what they've done is they haven't dropped. They've actually got a high quality actress to take this on. I mean, whether you like Us or not, which I didn't love it, she is great as an actress.
Oh, Lupita's great.
Slave, even on Star Wars, she is really, really good.
This is directed by the guy that did Pig, right?
I'm not sure who's directing.
I think it is. I think the director of this movie is the same guy that did the Nicolas Cage movie Pig.
Well, we have like what we thought that was good, and it wasn't at the same time. But as I said,
but the cinematography in it was good. So,
yeah,
I mean, we can agree on that.
Nicolas Cage's acting was good on it. But as I said, for me, on this, they've picked a good actress. It means that the bar is still high. They're not just going to do a generic B movie or slow. I mean, they might be crap for all we know, but I know that they're keeping the bar very high by casting her as the lead actress in this. And that sounds good. That's good for me. That's definitely a plus.
Also, for her to take the role, it shows that she has some sort of faith in whatever story they presented to her, because she's pretty well up there and established to the point where she's not just going to accept anything, you know. And this franchise, whether people want to agree with it or not, is becoming bigger than what it essentially was. It was supposed to be a one-off series. It's just supposed to be a one and done thing. People clamored over the first one. They made a second one. He was kind of hesitant. He didn't even want to make a third one, even though the third one's still cooking up from what I hear. So, but this prequel idea is actually a really good idea, and is being directed by somebody, in my opinion, who actually did really good. Is a really good cinematographer.
Cinematography.
As good as cinematography, right? Because even though like we could talk about the story all we want, Pig was shot very well.
Yeah.
It was shot very well. It looked good. The movie was really good aesthetically. I think he's going to do good in this movie. I really do.
I think the bar is high, and they've already started off with a good start. That's all I'm saying is that they're not just going to pick any old person. They've actually got a high quality actress, and this actress must have seen the script and go, yeah, because she can be choosy now as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. She has a name now.
You know what? This is good. Now I'm hoping it's going to be good, but we'll see. Time will tell. Now I have a question for you guys. What do you think about her being cast in the new Quiet Place day one? Do you care? Did you like the last two? Let us know in the comments below, and like and subscribe as normal.
Super Clark says feel like it's very smart to go back to day one. I think so too, because that way you don't like bore us with the story.
I want to know more about, because you show a little bit of the comment or the meteorite, whatever it was, and the second one coming down, and you're like, oh, okay, what's going on? And maybe hopefully we show us a bit more about that, you know. Any more comments?
Yeah, Quiet Place is an interesting film. Also,
great films.
Lewis Copeland, I agree. Evan Peters is a fantastic actor. Love them in America. Wait, what the hell? How do we get on Evan? Oh, they were talking about Dahmer in the chat. You guys got sidetracked to start talking about Dahmer. Let's see what else. Part 2 was good. If it carried on to the timeline, the third with the same family, it could have gotten a bit samey. Yeah, you know, that's the one thing I was always worried about with this franchise. Like, I didn't want it to like burn out. I think going with new people is a safer bet. I think it's a good way to go. So, you know, hey, I mean, look, it's a great franchise. It has a good story. It has really good villains. Like, the monsters are really freaking cool. And I like the idea that, you know, you have to stay quiet. Like, being in a movie theater and watching this movie, like, you feel like you're a part of the damn movie. Like, you feel like if you chew your popcorn, like you feel like if you're chewing popcorn, you're like, oh man, I need to chew it quietly because, you know, this monster might come out, you know. So I think they did a really good job at even creating like an atmosphere outside of the film, which is really good.
How well it was made, because you could do that anywhere and you would just, I don't give a shit and make noise and all that, but you're like, you know, holding her breath, you're like holding your breath. You nearly hold the person next to you their breath to shut up, you know, sort of thing. That's a testament to the film, you know. And but oh yeah, just for people know, that's going to be released in March of 2024 so far, unless they change the date, but that's what it is so far. But anyway, should we move on to the next? And this is going to be a real funny one, right? And this isn't a joke.
Go ahead.
Real big. Terrifier.
Yes.
Go on, Davey. What do you think it is? Terrifier. This is a real thing.
Terrifier 2, they have submitted the film to for the Oscars. Now, I think essentially they did it kind of like as a joke, but when you kind of really look at it, there are 2 categories which this movie can fit into, for visual effects and then also makeup and hair design. I think I was looking at the categories earlier and I was seeing like how they could work it. It could either be for visual effects, but honestly, it might be kind of hard because visual effects has kind of like
practical.
It's been no, visual effects has been taken over with like CGI. So like we're looking at like Dune last year, like won it, and then this year most likely Avatar 2 is probably going to win it, because, you know, we'll talk about that later. But, you know, visual effects is both practical and it's both actual CGI. Me personally, I really think that this movie should be recommended for the visual effects award, because I mean, really think about it. There's a lost art in this movie. There's a lot of freaking practical effects. There's animatronics in this movie. And then also, if you guys have seen the movie, the part where they show the Terrifier maze, that's not an actual location. They took it all the way back to some old school filming techniques. That is a small scale model that they backed the camera up and made it look like it was bigger than what it is. That's a small scale model you're seeing. That's some Godzilla type shit right there. And it took me all the way back. Like, I thought it was a real fun house until the director on his Instagram or one of his social media platforms, he shows his picture of the actual Terrifier maze. And I'm like, damn, This I was like, that was an actual small scale model. It's so much love for cinema in this movie. It gotta win something. If it wins, it has to win something. This movie has made almost $10 million. It has made 39 times its budget.
250.
I'm gonna say that again. This movie has made 39 times its budget. It was $250,000 to make, and it's made almost $10,000. I believe it's $9.8 million right now. This movie is a monster and it's moving. I have not seen this type of hype since the Blair Witch Project, and then before that, Halloween, the original. Like, this is something serious, and I think it should win something. It has to win something.
Right. Whether you like Terrifier or horror or not, the thing about this film is that they created a character. They had no money to do this film, and they decided to go with the old school style, and all the practical effects are practical. They handmade it with ketchup, whatever they could probably get their hands on, and it looks, I mean, it's pretty gory, to be fair. And you've got pretty much now a new horror icon from nowhere. These guys, they had nothing and they're making money from it, and they must have worked really hard. You're going up against Halloween and stuff, and
Hellraiser.
Yeah, you're going up, and look at you coming out now. All I'm saying is, if it goes up for the Oscars, whether it gets an Oscar or not, being nominated and the talk about it is just good enough alone. But if it does win, that would be great. I mean, good for them. You know what I mean? Like, you could see it. There's a lot of love gone into this film. You know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I have to turn my head a couple of times with mashed potato. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Mashed potato and salt and bleach. And bleach.
I mean, that was original. I'm like, I can't believe I've never seen that in the film before. Where someone,
it was just brutal.
Spoilers, but he got the salt out, and I was like, oh no, you know. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Good idea. But anyway, I just want to know, what do you guys think? Do you think this is just a silly thing, a category, or do you think that it's warranted, that it deserves something if it's going to be up against all these silly other crappy visual effects? I mean, let us know in the comments below. And if you're watching live, what do you think? Any questions?
Let's see. We got a lot of people chiming in. Now, also, I want to throw this out there before we move on. Damien Leone needs to continue to crowdsource this movie, because if he allows the studios to buy into it or pick it up, then this movie would not be anything like close to what we saw. So if he lets the studio pick it up, they're going to PG it down and dumb it down a little bit.
Its charm.
So yeah, so they really need to keep it up. They need to keep crowdsourcing this shit. I'm trying to get to there's a lot of comments about it. So
wow.
Giselle came in and said Terrifier 2, geez, that little girl. Yes.
I know, yeah.
that freaking laundromat scene. Perp Minded came in and says Terrifier 2 should definitely get an Oscar for visual effects or costume design. That's what I'm saying, right? I think those are the two categories that it could see. Carl came in and said, I haven't seen it yet. The Irish Jim says Terrifier 2 was fantastic. Let's see who else. The Irish Jim came in again. So much love for the classic camera skills and art is creepy as
really, you know? 100%. I agree.
Let's see. Dalton came in with the Copeland. I highly recommend it. Really, really, really good. Let's see. Perp Minded came in with the it's incredible. Let's see. Luis Copeland came in with the Terrifier. I was told it was that bad that people was passing out in the cinema. Is it really that terrifying? Now, I don't know, but I heard that they were handing out these personal barf bags that I wanted. I wanted to get one. They were handing out barf bags. Now, what this company did drop the ball on is it should have had a UK release. They would have made so much more money. Guaranteed. Game changer. Perp Binder said it's game changing time.
Yeah.
I think it's the old skills and effects make this so popular. Let's see who was that.
I do think the character is really good too, but I do think,
dude, David Howard Thornton is amazing. I think he's about to get called for so many movies right now. Arthur Clown is creepy as hell. My daughter is a big fan. She loves it, and I will give it a go. Definitely. I will give it to Art, especially that little girl. Yeah, that little girl. I was hearing about how she was.
I want to know more about her. You know, what's all that about? But you know, we'll maybe find out in another one. You know,
We
part
are
three.
sick of CGI, and art is a tour de force as a character because he was blank slate. He's a blank slate with and without a voice. Yeah, honestly, the mime thing made it really, really unique.
Yeah,
Like him not talking made it super unique. Now, I
yeah.
do have a different kind of comment here. This is non-praise coming in. Terrifier was bad acting, but they made Art the Clown infamous. The gore levels is off the chart, like Evil Dead, so over the top. It can't be taken seriously. Yeah, I mean, but this one definitely stepped it up with the freaking acting, though. Like, definitely. What's her name? Something Lavera, the main girl, Sierra,
Well,
Lauren Lavera, I think. She's a freaking awesome lead in this movie.
I didn't think she was
CGI,
one down until she got into the Wonder Woman costume, and then I was all in.
you're funny. CGI is overrated, Carl says.
It is,
Totally
yeah.
agreed. Dahmer. Okay, we're talking about Dahmer. I think it deserves a chance at an award, but probably won't get any. May get on along
Probably
the
not.
list of short list.
But
Okay.
being nominated, or even just to talk about it being in there somehow, is
D&J Review said I had to turn it off. Weakling.
Who's that?
In
Is
the
that
words of-
who did that?
That was D&J Reviews. Most likely Darrell. And in the words of that is you weak, pathetic fool. Perp Minus says I'm looking forward to that Grinch horror movie with David Howard Thornton as well. Exactly, the mean one that's coming out. David Howard Thornton is also going to be in. Damian Leone is also making another movie called Stream. This movie is it features Tony Todd, aka Candyman, Felissa Rose, and also Danielle Harris. Not to mention old boy that plays the Reanimator, Herbert
right?
West. You
Was
said
that
what?
Danielle or Daniela?
No, it's Danielle, not
Sure?
Daniela.
Sure?
Yeah.
I'm checking because we got
Miss T came in and said, I want a barf bag as well. It is Darrell came back with it. Shit was nasty, man. Let's see. Miss T, too bad my niece is not a kid anymore. I would dress her up as the art girl, the pale girl. And then he says, it's me, Darrell.
Hello, Darrell. Thank you for turning up.
Wait, is that an actual movie? What's actually a movie? What? Which one, Jim? Which one, Jim? Which movie? Are you? Of course you did, Derek. You always loved the woman in uniform.
The woman in uniform. Who said that?
Norier Dalton.
I love him in the uniform and out of the uniform.
The Grinch. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
horror
So Jim,
Grinch.
David Howard Thornton is in a movie about the Grinch. Like he's going to be like an evil Grinch. Now, on top of that, I would also like to tell you that the people that made Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, they're already talking about making a sequel. And then on top of that, they want to make a dark version of Peter Pan. So if any of you guys are interested in that, that's out there as well. The Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, you're making that.
Definitely.
You said what?
No, that's something to look out for.
Yeah, definitely. I'm loving this whole like just take some shit and make it dark thing. I love it.
I mean, look, you guys, for people who are interested in movies and news and all that, if you want to know all the latest, all the updates and all the weekly stuff, jump on here every week and we will give you all it. We would do more, but we're not getting enough people watching to do more throughout the week.
Somebody in the chat did say earlier y'all should do this every day, but
well, it's, you know what? Once we build up a bit of a community and people like it and are interested, then we will start doing it a lot more. But at the moment, we're just trying to build this community, and we will. But so some of the news that we're telling you is probably a couple of days old, but it's this week's news, and we'll always keep you updated with everything, you know. So stay tuned.
It's crazy. I always had ideas for Peter Pan horror movie. Really? I mean, I think a lot of like the childy stuff can like be really cool. Giselle also says they have a lot of source material for Peter Pan. And then who's this? Hollywood. Who's that? Hollywood Cole. Hey, what's up, Hollywood Cole?
How you doing?
Hollywood Cole. Hey, Hollywood Cole is chiming in. What's up, man? What's going on? How you doing? How you living? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't, Hollywood Cole.
Yes.
Check it out. So what's the next topic, sir? Let's keep the ball rolling.
While we're still on the horror, I just want to bring up this quickly because it just came in. As I said, breaking news. Whether it's big or not, it's this. Smile, for people who are interested, just hit 200 million at the global box office. Now, this film cost 17 million to make, and they've just made 200. Everyone's raving about this. I watched it 2 nights ago. Didn't like it. My opinion. I just thought it was boring. But you know what? for them to make that much money, good for them. Good luck to them, and hopefully, they do more, I suppose. And what did you didn't like it much either, did
No,
you?
it was okay. Look, it was. I liked it. It was okay. It was entertaining. It got me through, right? But I will say this is, guys, I'm subbed up. All right, what's up, Hollywood? That's what's up, Hollywood Cole. You subbed up. That's what's up. The one thing that
Yes, mate.
it reminded me of The Ring, but just like the only thing about it was it just wasn't as interesting as The Ring. Like the concept of like the videotape and finding out where it was and things like that. Like I felt like what we got at the end of Smile just didn't, the payoff wasn't as good as The Ring. It's the same concept as The Ring. It just like didn't have the same payout as The Ring. It was okay. I was entertained. I liked it, but it wasn't something that like swept me off my feet and like, that I loved.
But I just thought I'd bring that up as it just broke in. And for people who watch Barbarian who liked that, which I did, that is, what was it, 43 million.
Barbarian, can I ask the chat real quick? If you're in the chat right now and you've seen Barbarian, have you guys seen Castle Freak? And if you have seen Castle Freak, do you think that Barbarian is just an updated version of Castle Freak? Because I swear it is. It's almost the exact same damn thing. Castle Freak.
Yeah.
Castle Freak, dude. If you've seen Castle Freak, tell me that freaking Barbarian isn't just Castle Freak, just updated. I love Castle Freak. I saw Barbarian last night. All right, Giselle, do you see the correlation I'm talking about? Do you see the connection I'm making? Aren't the movies kind of like low-key the same? Smile has some really good tension buildup. Yeah, I will say this. Smile has some really good cinematography. I liked how they jacked the little Candyman upside down shots. Don't think you thought I didn't catch that, did you? But I caught it. They jacked the freaking Candyman upside down shots.
The ambulance and the girl coming out of the ambulance, and I caught it too. But
yeah, like it's crazy.
And it's Kevin Bacon's daughter is the main girl.
Who?
That's Kevin Bacon's daughter.
Oh, Kevin Bacon's daughter. Yeah, I saw that Bacon. I think more like Hills Have Eyes without the radiation. I can see some Castle Freak, yeah. Because wasn't Castle Freak like a product of like inbreeding or something? I don't remember. But it just reminded me of Castle Freak. Like some dude chilling in a dungeon is like causing mayhem. But whatever, we'll get back to that later. Yeah. Sorry, I segued too much. But yeah, Smile making 200 million is worth it. You're going to see that very typically with horror movies, especially that are released in the month of October. You're going to see one movie just like shine. And honestly, this movie is going to continue because the way that the movie ended is definitely getting a sequel. It made a bunch of money. It's definitely getting a sequel. They're probably going to franchise this shit out. And then especially because it has an actual monster or an antagonist to it.
It's just my opinion. I thought it was long, boring. The payoff wasn't worth it. But
Kevin Bacon's daughter was the main girl in Smile with the mole on her face.
Yeah, she was the main character, Kevin Bacon's daughter. Now, let's move on to off the horror. Now we're going to jump into the breaking news this week, and it is
breaking news.
Harry Potter. Now,
Harry Potter.
Now, people are going, really? Well, yes, really. So, what I know is over in Warner Brothers, we've got a new CEO called David Zaslav. And he is changing everything up. He's brought Superman back. He's changing everything up. And the thing about him is when he says something, he kind of goes for it. He makes it happen. He looks at it all. Now, there's a lot of red tape with this. Now, a lot of people may know that J.K. Rowling, who wrote the books, did something or said something there a while back about wokeness and transgender, and
yeah, she made some comments about transgenders. Yeah,
and I'm not sure exactly, or I can't remember exactly what she said, but I don't think it was overly bad. But all I know is she's fallen out of favor with a lot of people in Hollywood, which definitely go against it.
Yeah, because she keeps double downing on it.
Yeah, but the thing is that she wrote the books. Now, I know that Daniel Radcliffe, he recently said, because they were talking about him doing Wolverine, and he said he'd love to, but the point is he's glad he wasn't chosen because he would not want to be tied down to a franchise again because of he just likes the free range to be able to do what he wants. And when you're tied down to a franchise, he has to. But on the other hand,
he likes to do a lot of indie stuff. Like
He
I've
does.
noticed that he likes a lot of indie work.
Yeah, he likes to do what he wants. When he's tied down, he feels. But I will say this: two things. First of all, money talks, and second of all, this is his baby. Harry Potter is his baby. Now, David Zaslav didn't quite say, look, it's going to be Harry Potter. He just says he wants that back. He wants Harry Potter back and all that. Whether he's going to be old, young, or whatever, I don't know. But now, on the other hand, Emma Watson, who played Hermione, she, on the other hand, she is really not happy with J.K. Rowling at the moment because of all
Yeah.
this. So there's more red tape. As I said, money talks. Now, David Zaslav will not go ahead unless J.K. Rowling writes a book so they come to it. Now, assuming all of this comes together and
I
they all
thought that he wanted to I thought that he wanted to like buy her out in a way.
maybe
I was under the
continue
impression
what
that
he
he wanted to
wants,
buy her out. Like he wants to buy whatever it is from her so that she won't be tied to the film, so that they won't have all that like negative like energy, because
I
they
don't think
were kind of, well, the reason why I'm saying this is because they feel like because of her, that's the reason why Fantastic Beasts didn't, the first one fucking knocked it out of the park, you know, and then this next two didn't. But also, I don't know, was Johnny Depp in the other two, or he was only in the first one?
Depp was in the first two, and there was a lot of that shit going on whilst the third one came out. The third one didn't do so well. Now, I personally watched the first Fantastic Beasts. I thought it was okay. I didn't jump on the second or third. I want to know though, what do you think about another Harry Potter? Do you think it would be interesting to see what he would do as an older a man now, and the rest
Yeah,
of
because
them?
there is a story. The story is like the next
Something
thing
like
is about
Hidden
his
Child.
son. It's about his kid, and then
Yeah,
they're like his homies and all they little thing, and their kids and their adventures at
yeah, I've
Hogwarts.
heard
Like
that. It's
that's
called
the new
Hidden
that's the
Child.
new thing.
Yeah. So
But the thing is, they would have to bring back the original cast in order to make that. Well, they don't have to, but I
no,
think that if they're going to run with that story, that it'll be more appealing if they do that.
yeah.
If they go about it like that. I
But
mean,
that's
there are other stories like they also talked about how they have a Broadway show play or something, and they were talking about making that into like a full-length movie.
all
But
right.
I don't know the story behind the Broadway play. I just know that they were talking about possibly making that into a movie as well. They're sorting ideas, but a big thing that I've gotten from this is that they do not want to move forward with Fantastic Beasts. They feel like
Yeah,
it's kind of dead.
yeah. It didn't do well, and Zaslav is like, look, I want more Harry Potter. Now, if everything, as I said, comes together, we'll say tomorrow everyone said yes and all the red tape were gone, it still would be about 3 or 4 years until we saw another one anyway. But despite all of that, what I'm saying, all the red tape, J.K. Rowling, Emma Watson, all that, Zaslav, what I've noticed about him, when he says something, he will go all out until he does everything he can to make this happen. And he has been making things happen, So, it's interesting. I like Harry Potter movies. But then I'm not a big, massive Harry Potter head like some people are, but I do enjoy them. I thought they were pretty decent. And I would be interested in seeing another, especially after all this time, to see him older with kids, see what that's about.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm
they
going to
can't get the
ask,
original cast back. That's the only bad
that's what I
thing.
mean.
Like,
That's definitely something that would be important, I think. Recasting someone else, you need the people in the seats, and to get what's his name, Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson,
it's
and
not
is it
gonna happen.
Rupert something? I've forgotten his name, the redhead kid. All of them. Yeah, I can't remember his
You
name.
mean Ronald?
Is it
Ronald,
Ronald
Ronald,
Weasley?
Ronald Weasley.
Yeah.
Ronald
Getting all
Weasley.
them back in, that would be a big deal. And what's the other? What's the blonde kid, the horrible one? All of those in. Getting
Draco
all the
Malfoy.
Malfoy. All of those, that would be important. And I think David Zaslav is looking to do that. But I want to know if for people who are watching this later, what do you think? Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think it should be dead? Do you think are you looking forward to seeing it and you want to know more? Let us know in the comments below and like and subscribe as normal. Now, to the people who are watching live, what is your opinion on everything I just said? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you just hate it? Or what? What have we got?
Let's see. Giselle says it's not the first time that she's been in trouble for saying stuff.
Ooh.
Jim says Horns and Guns and Kimbo are great.
I haven't seen it. I heard it was all right though.
Giselle said yes. and the dead farting body on one Swiss Army something.
I
Swiss
heard
Army
that was
Man.
good too.
Swiss Army Man was good. I love that movie. Let's see. Mads and Jim killed it. Eddie was too boring. Not sure. Giselle
Oh
said
no,
she'd
I
watch.
think he's talking about Fantastic Beasts. Mads Mikkelsen, who is one of my favorite actors at this moment, replacing Johnny Depp. I haven't seen it, but I know who you're talking about.
I don't really like the Fantastic Beasts franchise, says
No.
Giselle. They should bring back the original cast, says Carl. And then let's see. Renamon, you're in here finally. It took forever. Took a long to get here. Who's this? Luis says, I'll sit on the fence with this one until I know more about it and who will be in it. Renamon came in with the thumbs up and the fire logo.
All the original cast should be in the new Harry Potter film. That's the plan.
I think they should. I think Harry Potter is one of the Warner Brothers' biggest properties.
It is.
It will get more of it. What do you guys think of the proposed Warner Brothers Universal merger and what that means for their battle with Disney? I mean, the more things that you bring in, the possible, but Disney right now is a freaking huge superpower. And they have too many really good properties that make so much freaking money. Like Star Wars and Marvel alone is going to like bring in money for like the near future, like for a long time.
Not Dalton and Star Wars. That's what they owned. Don't forget that they owned all their own Disney stuff. You know,
they own Simpsons, they own all the Fox's properties. There's a lot of stuff they own.
They are a titan when it comes to.
Let's not even forget that they own Hulu and all of Hulu's original streaming shows. They own all of Fox's properties, which includes The Simpsons, Predator, a bunch of other stuff.
When you buy a pencil or a pen that has Spider-Man written on it, Disney get a couple of pounds from that. They get a cut. You buy a duvet,
action figures, all that.
You know, it's crazy how big they are.
All right, let's see. Let's see. Hold on, we still got a couple more. Giselle says, "Mads is God." Period. Chrissy chimed in and said, "Finally figured out the chat." Hey, Chrissy, long time no see. How was the horror con? How was that con? How was meeting Danny Trejo and all those other cool people?
I know.
I'm always looking at those cons, like the list, and I'm like, oh, those are some really cool people.
Do you know, right?
She met Twisty the Clown. I'm mad. I wanted to meet
so many cons. She actually probably could do her own, and they come to see her for a change. You know what I mean? I think all them celebrities will end up coming to see you soon because they know.
I would kill to meet the homie Twisty. He's tight. Let's see. Giselle says, Chrissy, finally here. Ha 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 ha. Hi, Chrissy. Finally, Giselle. I had to log out and log back in. I'm still here. Chrissy's finally here. All right. So
like in between.
We got Chrissy in the building. All right. That's what's up. All right. So
yes, for turning up.
I'm trying to.
Thanks.
All right.
What I was going to say was, but whoever, I think it was Giselle talking about Mads Mikkelsen. For me, he is one of the best actors around at this time. I'm telling you, this guy is really good. I mean, I didn't love Hannibal, the TV show, but I'm telling you, him on it was enough to make me watch it. That's how engaging he's great. I'm going off subject here a little bit, but I do think he's really good. And I haven't watched Fantastic Beasts or whatever the last one was, but that would have been great casting, and I'm sure he did great on it. He's just so good in everything, even in Bond as the guy with the weeping eye. That was great. Bond, James Bond. But anyway, so sorry about that. We'll go on to the next subject, and we're coming to the big. All right, now I want to talk about Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2. Right, so obviously it's out for people who don't know. It's out this Friday, this weekend anyway, coming next weekend or whatever, and the reactions are coming in. There's people who've seen pre-screeners, like critics, they've come in, they've seen it, and the reactions are coming out. And
I've been trying to get one. I couldn't get one. I've been trying to pull my strings, man. I've been trying to get into one of these Wakanda screeners, and it ain't happening.
This film is they're praising it, but it has strong praise, the ability to tell an intimate, heartfelt story with a bigger scope. Film critic Melando said that the film poses a maturity and seriousness rare seen on.
That says Maldonado.
Well, these are critics who've actually seen it and have put down. Now, what I was going to say is, Also read that there's pacing issues, but apart from the pace issue, it makes it sad. It's great. And for people who aren't big Marvel fans here, there's no post-credit scene. There's only going to be a mid-credit scene. So just so you know, for people who are waiting for another one. But
Okay, that's good to know before I go sit through this damn movie. But
you know what I mean. But I'm still probably going to wait to the end just in case.
Just
you know?
because
But,
I think by the end of the screen they're gonna drop a R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman or something, or a montage or something.
maybe.
I think it might not be a credit scene, but there will be something on the screen at the end of the movie. At least that's what I think.
Well, I mean, look, this film is coming out, and there's a lot of hype about this film. Now, everyone's giving it good praise, and hopefully it is as good, because you know yourself, all these critics, they can say what they want. That don't mean shit until you see it, I see it, you guys who are watching this see it. You know, everyone's different. But hopefully they do it justice, because Chadwick Boseman, his presence should be felt in this film, even though he's not in it. Do you know what I mean? He needs to be felt that he's part of this, even though he's not. And I'm hoping they give us what we like. Now, I'm also worried about the overhyping this movie. Now, for people who are going, what do you mean? What I'm saying is, when something gets overhyped and we go and see it, maybe you're a bit let. I mean, I've been let down a few times, like by stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm worried about people overhyping it to get people in, and then it's more important to get people in to watch it than how the film's going to be. What do you think, Davey?
You know what I noticed though? I noticed that I am afraid of the overhyping, but at the same time, when you pay attention to the reviews and the comments made from the people that have seen it, I think these are things that we already knew.
Yeah.
Like them saying that Angela Bassett kills it, like knocks it out of the park. Yeah. We saw that in the trailer. You know what I mean? Like her speech in the trailer, like that shit gave me goosebumps. Like it was really, really like it hits you, and I'm like, dang, like Angela Bassett is gonna kill this shit. Like I felt that shit. And then when Namor talked in the recent trailer, I was just like, damn, he about to kill this shit too. You know, and it's just like those two people were mentioned as like really great. Have really great roles in this movie and do a really good job. And just based off of the trailer alone, we can see that, you know, and to me, I was like, okay, that's a given. This movie is going to be visually stunning. It's going to be emotional. And we know this because of the trailer. The one thing that I'm really hoping though, is that the movie doesn't ride too much on a tragedy in order to get it through. Like, you know how some movies are just good because they're really sad and they make you feel. So you make that correlation with, sadness equals a good movie. But then when you really think about it in hindsight, you're like, okay, just because it makes me feel, it doesn't mean that it's a good movie, you know? So I really hope that it's a lot to this movie, that I really hope this movie has a lot of depth to it. I hope it's a meaty project and it tells a really good story. But I mean, based off of what we're seeing, a lot of people are praising it, and I have really good expectations for this movie.
So have I. I mean, I'm hoping it's, as I said, I'm hoping it's as good as everyone's saying, but I will hold my reservations until I see it. But I mean, his presence, as I said, needs to be felt in this, and apparently it is. And like you were saying, just because something make you feel sad at the end, like look at Titanic, a lot of people were crying at the end of that. Well, it was like a 3-hour film to get there. Actually, no, that's a bad one. That's a good movie, really. But as I said, you know, just because it makes you feel away doesn't mean the film is good. I want it to be everything that it's saying. It seems like they have put a lot of love in it. And also, just on a different subject, I personally am glad they didn't recast him. Now,
let's give him a hand for that shit. Let's give him a hand for that.
I was like,
because they could have easily did that.
Would you? All right, if Marvel rang you and said, right, we want to cast you as the new Black Panther, I'm telling you now, as much as you're great, you are looking for trouble, because you're like, I'm stepping into this guy's shoes and nobody wants
to. I'm like, nah.
Regardless,
no, I don't respectfully. I'm saying no.
I'm glad they didn't, because it feels too soon. I know it's been a couple of years, but it feels too soon. It's still raw.
You know what's wild though?
Huh?
I want to mention something that I read, and somebody mentioned it, and it started like a really crazy discussion. And I didn't realize that there was a lot of people that actually felt the way that this person felt. This person said that he believed that Marvel should have went forward.
Yeah, a lot of people
with casting him, right? And the reason why he said it is he was saying that although, you know, everybody adores Chadwick Boseman and it's sad what happened to him, that he wasn't some stellar performer as T'Challa. Like he didn't do something that knocked it out of the park, and that he was outshined by Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger. And he was just saying that based off of that alone, like, you know, like he wasn't really a strong character even in his own movie. So therefore he can be recasted. And I was just like, I don't think that was, and me personally, I'm thinking like that's not the matter of the point. This man, I think that the bigger picture is that Chadwick Boseman gave a lot to this franchise, and he provided a lot, and his untimely death was, you know, it hit a lot of people. And out of respect for him, I don't think it would be right for them to recast, even if Chadwick Boseman himself wanted them to recast. I think it would be better for them to just move forward and then give the mantle to somebody else.
I think if they ever recast it, it has to fit in. Don't recast him. Just kind of get and look, I'm not going to go on more about it because I don't know enough about what's going on. All I'm saying is I'm glad they didn't recast him. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I do think it will be good. I really do. I'm just scared about the overhype. And we will know more about this time next week. Tune in. We'll know all about the film. We've probably seen it by then, and we'll give you more on that. But
maybe we'll do a live review.
Yeah, maybe. But for now, let us know in the comments below, what do you think, and like and subscribe. But for those who are here, what do you guys think? Are you looking forward to seeing it? Do you care? Do you think I was right about him not being recast, or do you think he should have been? Let us know. What you reckon?
All right, so we got feel the expectation of Marvel movies has fallen since Endgame / Spider-Man No Way Home. So feel like this will knock it out of the park by being best movie since then by far. I agree, because honestly, like when you really look at Endgame and Spider-Man No Way Home, they're not really good movies. Like, I mean, as in a aspect of like storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, building up to the Avengers Endgame, there was a clear, direct kind of, and we followed it even with the post credit scenes. We followed it, and it feels like when we hit Endgame, they're going into phase 4, but it's a bit messy. It's a bit weaker. There's no real narrative what's going on. And this is the movie, which is still kind of feels part of the Avengers. So this is the movie that will kind of give us that feel back again, I think, you know. And yeah, I agree with you there. Sorry.
Super Clark says, doesn't mean it will be as good as some other phase 3 movies.
No, it doesn't, but it might be.
Luis says,
Louise,
tickets are pre-booked already for next week. Looking forward to see it.
good.
Marvel movies have been very fan service movies, so not surprised they didn't recast them.
Didn't.
Giselle says, I think they did the right thing.
Me too.
And then yeah, I think so too. I think it would have been right for them to do that.
Seems to be going about it's kind of, they didn't recast him, and it's all going to be about the loss of him and how to survive and what's going on. I really think that, and to make it feel, I actually, you know what, Marvel. I mean, you get on my nerves, Marvel, but I'm going to give you 2 thumbs up for that. Really do. For not
me too, because that was a smart choice on them. That was a really good choice. Smart move on their part.
Any more comments?
Let's see. Phase 4 has been disappointing, but hopeful for phase 5.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what? Phase 4 has been kind of like, eh.
Yeah. I think it's lost its build. I think they peaked. They blew their load, you could say, with Endgame, and then after that, everyone was kind of like, "Where do we go now? How do you peak like that?"
Yeah, but there hasn't really been a good story. Like, I get it that I feel like they're world building, and then they're also trying to set the stage for the next movie. But at the same time, like, we got to be honest here. Like, these ain't really good stories that they're telling. You know, they're not really telling good stories. The characters that they're introducing are pretty meh and pretty like, who cares? You know. So yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel like they're not really building. I don't know. I gotta see what they do next. But the fact that the major villain is being introduced in freaking Ant-Man, which is one of their lowest performing movies, I think that says a lot.
Okay. Well,
and then Jim randomly says, what do we think of Pearl? I have not watched Pearl yet.
I watched Pearl the other day. I actually enjoyed it. I mean, it's not the greatest thing. I thought it looked really nice. I mean, I mean, as I said, if I was a director, that's how I'd want a film to look. The colors, the vibrance, everything. It looked great. I thought the story was pretty decent. It wasn't the greatest. I thought the acting was good. Some tension was good. Actually, really. What did you think of it, Jim?
I'm pretty sure he loved Pearl. Was so good. He says it's good. Giselle
Yeah,
says she loved it. I'm probably gonna watch that today.
it's
Um,
definitely enjoyable. Yeah, definitely worth a watch. I mean, again, not blowing you away. It is an
yeah, because I
A24.
just watched Barbarian last night, so Pearl's on the list. Pearl's on the list. I need to watch
It is
Pearl.
an A24. It's not going to blow you away, but it's definitely a solid movie.
I need to watch Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I need to watch Men. I need to watch that new. What is that new movie? Deliver Us from Evil or something like that.
Not even heard of that. But
Yeah, it's the one that. It's the one that. It's the one about some lady like somebody being possessed. It's another possession movies. But go ahead. What's the next topic, sir? I think this is the last one, huh?
yeah, I just want to say like we've got one more topic to go, and this one is Avatar trailer was this week. Yeah.
The Blue Man Group.
Avatar 2 trailer.
Avatar.
Red Water was this week. Did you see it, Davey?
The trailer, yeah, I did. I made sure I watched it as soon as you told me about it.
Well, what I was going to say is that I saw it, and this is James Cameron. James Cameron. I mean, if you know seen South Park, James Cameron does what James Cameron does because he's James Cameron. But the thing is, as much as I thought visually, the last one was really good. The storyline was a bit, it was all about the visuals, and that's great. It is an experience, and watching it in 3D back then was great. Looking at this one again, looks good. Looks
Great.
looks like eye candy in general.
Very much, yes.
And the trailer didn't give us much in the plot. There was something about
Another war.
something.
It's another freaking war.
And I'm like, are we gonna go like do a generic recast story? Because like we might as well just watch the first one again if we're just gonna get just eye candy. I mean, with James Cameron, we're always going to get great effects and great this, but this time I do feel like I want more of a story. It doesn't have to be Shawshank Redemption type storytelling, but it has to have more of a plot than the last one.
He waited intentionally this long because he wanted the effects to be like up to speed to what he wanted, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because James Cameron is freaking amazing as a director.
Great.
That last movie wasn't all that. And I mean, honestly, like this is a sequel I really didn't ask for. I really don't care if I ever got. I mean, the first movie was okay, but it doesn't really have much replay value. You know, I don't see myself saying, hell yeah, let me watch Avatar today. But apparently, like, it still has a huge following. It has people still coming in. It still has people talking about it. But me personally, like, Avatar never was some fucking amazing story where I was just like, yo, like,
and this is James Cameron,
literally
really great storylines, like with Terminator 1 and 2, what was it, Aliens, which you still ain't seen.
Yeah.
Obviously, Titanic and all that. But what I was saying is that it's just, I do feel we need more plot on this. Now, look, we don't know until we see the film. It could be the greatest. Now, Avatar is one of the highest grossing films of all time to this day.
Surprisingly, and I honestly till this day don't understand how it did that.
Titanic was one of the highest. So he single-handedly has made the two of the biggest, highest grossing movies of all time. Now, they do say you shouldn't bet against James Cameron. Yeah,
I'm betting against him.
They say you shouldn't bet against him because this guy knows what he's doing. Now, in fairness, when he made Avatar, it was huge. It was massive. Again, I liked the film. I just didn't love it. This film looks like it's going to be the same as such. It's going to look great. Going to be a weak story, a lot of fighting. That's fine, but there has to be a reason. And I'm hoping for more.
It seems like a conflict. It seems like some war breaks out. There's some sort of conflict. The Blue Man Group talks to another Blue Man Group, and they try to like build some kind of treaty. But apparently, these Blue Man Groups got beef because this Blue Man Group is from the jungle, and this Blue Man Group is from the water. And then apparently they need to come together in order to fight the bigger threat. Huh?
I saw some humans there. Did you see them in some?
No, that's what I'm saying. They need to come together in order to fight the threat, which is the humans who are in the little machines or whatever. It doesn't seem that deep. And I really hope that it's not another whack-ass love story because I don't need to see that shit. I don't need to see these people like hugging under the little jellyfish tree.
More time than just visual. I really do. I mean, I really do. I just need more this time. But you know what? Again, until I see it, could be wrong. But I want to ask you guys: are you fans of Avatar? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you looking forward to this one, or do you think, like the trailer, it looks kind of generic and you're kind of over it now? Let us know in the comments below and like and
Yeah,
subscribe.
I want to know who's a legit fan of Avatar here. Like, I
I
mean,
am.
like
I would
legit,
say
like
I'm
you.
a fan. I liked it. I think it looks great and
Okay,
it's enjoyable. But
liking it and loving it are two different things. You can't like something and be a fan. If you're a fan, that means you love that shit. So
yeah,
I want to know, somebody in the chat, do you legitly love Avatar? Because me personally, it was a long ass, boring movie that that runtime was ridiculously longer. And then it's crazy that they keep putting this damn movie out and people keep still going to see it even after it's been released on
oh yeah, it
multiple
was re-released
platforms.
there recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, they
Um,
did that like several
yeah,
times. And I don't understand why people are still watching this movie in theaters, but okay. All right. Like, I get it. It's a visual thing. It's one of the things that you want to see on the big screen. I completely get it. But at the same time, story-wise, is not something that's going to keep me up at night. Like, I can't stay awake and watch that movie. That's probably a movie I will watch and go to sleep. It's not like the greatest thing I've ever seen. And I really think it gets a lot more praise and made a lot more money than I think it deserves. But that's just me, though. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go to the actual Avatar show. I haven't seen the trailer. I really enjoyed the first one, so really hoping that this one is just as good. Definitely on my list to see. Is this only going to theaters, or are they streaming this?
no, this is James Cameron. This shit's going to this. This is going to the cinema, and it's going to be in 3D.
I mean, that's the same thing the people from Dune thought. Always loved Avatar, even if it ripped off Dances with Wolves.
Yeah,
Thank you. As long as the story is good, it will be epic, as it will be obviously be amazingly visual.
hopefully,
All
yeah.
right. And then we got do you guys think they will bring back the 3D glasses? 3D to
Yeah,
the
it's
max.
going to be in 3D for 100%. 100%.
Avatar for some reason is meh for me. Exactly, right? It's a freaking mess show. And then Irish Jim always keeping it something different.
Yeah,
Stephen Lang, though,
he's
meh.
good.
I didn't love it. I did love it. Okay. So we have a lover. Super Clark says he loves it.
I think that's Mike. Is that you, Mike? Yeah.
Super Clark. And then Giselle says Brad can't chat, but he said he loves Avatar. Okay. I agree, it made more money, largely due to the 3D sales than it should. All right, exactly. I'm saying that's what I'm thinking. That movie made way too much money. And
I
then
think it's a long time though. It's been 10 years or so, isn't it?
Miss T says, I have never seen Avatar. Trust me, you don't want to see it. And I'm not sitting through that movie.
Don't be like that. You gotta watch it.
Hell no. Well, we might watch the second one because I don't know. Like the second movie, I don't know. I gotta see the second one because I gotta review it, but I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I'm definitely, I don't know if I'm gonna be looking forward to it, but I'm curious. I'm waiting to see, is it a better story? But I will see it. James Cameron is one of my favorite directors, so I am going to bet on him.
Super Clark says it is Mike.
Hello, Mike.
What the fuck was that? All right. The Irish Gym, I saw it in the cinema with my dad, and I was like, okay, it's cool, but Stephen Lang.
I like him.
This dude, Jim, is hilarious. All right, that's our final topic.
I mean, that's the weekly news. Look, there is loads of news that's breaking, and we're only trying to get main stuff that's in, within the time frame that, we don't want to be going on all night. We would do more shows. We just don't have a big enough community to do another show.
How about we take like 2 minutes worth of questions from the audience, since we have a nice little chunk of audience here. From the 11 people that are watching, you can ask us anything, whatever you want, and we will answer it.
Filters,
movie related.
Looking, just in case you were going to ask that.
Ms. T says, I know it's off topic, but just like I've never seen Underworld or Twilight. All right, I don't want to see Twilight, but Underworld is all right. The first couple of Underworlds are cool. You need to watch the first one. Give it a go. Louise Copeland says, I am right. I heard Sigourney Weaver has already filmed some of the scenes in part 4. The new news, so to speak. There we go. Avatar maybe was overpraised. It's a technical achievement. Good job, guys. Very informative. Thank you, Giselle. Do you guys? I saw Twilight. I don't want to talk. What? I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. Come on, Jim. You always got good questions. What you guys got?
Twilight. and never watched the rest of them.
Any questions? Any
Well,
questions? Any questions? It could be about anything, any kind of movie that's coming out. Oh, did we talk about Godzilla?
no, we didn't.
All right, hey, quickly, before you guys run out of here. If you guys are super fans of Godzilla, on the Toho website, Godzilla has officially announced that in 2023, in November, they will be releasing another Godzilla movie. Now, we have not seen a Godzilla movie released from Japan since Shin Godzilla, which was met with mixed reviews, but at the same time, I liked it. It was a different take. You said what?
I liked it too.
Oh, you saw Shin Godzilla? Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, I like the different take on it. So this one is being directed by the guy that do Lupin the Third, and he's also done Parasite, which is like an anime movie, and he's done a lot of other stuff. But so next year we're getting that, and then also Warner Brothers is still working on the Godzilla versus Kong sequel, which will have those two fighting off against some monster in the middle of the earth. But I don't understand how you're going to call it Godzilla versus Kong if they're teaming up, but whatever, that's a question for another day. But if you guys are into the Godzilla movies, that is definitely big news. They announced this on G-Day, which is Godzilla Day, which was last Thursday. I believe it was the 3rd. So that's the new news that we have on Godzilla. I freaking love Godzilla. Godzilla's dope as hell. I'm a huge fan. Like, I don't have any. I got a Mecha Godzilla poster over there.
Here we go. He's getting all the toys out now.
No, I do. I have a bunch of Godzillas. Like this whole shelf right here. That shelf on the bottom left is all Godzilla stuff, but you obviously can't see it. Oh, Carl says what do we think about the Camp Crystal Lake series?
Oh, that was the Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th series. I think is it being produced by A24 or something?
A24, I think, is doing this. Yeah, that is really interesting. That could be either a real good idea or terrible. I would say good. I mean, like, they're really good at the moment. Whether you like half their films or not, they're different. And to take Jason. Well, I'm assuming Jason's going to be in it. I don't know.
No, I wonder if it's going to follow Pamela Voorhees after Jason's death. I think that would either that or we're going to follow mutant Jason getting punked at summer camp that leads up to his death. Either way, it'll be fun.
I do think that this is something I'd like to have talked about more, but I actually think this is it's interesting because, like, if you hear there's a new Jason film coming out, great. But when you hear that A24 is taking this on, which is really strange for them to, feels like something that's the kind of genre they don't go near. It just feels different for them, and to bring this on, it could be real interesting. And I'm glad you brought it up. Was that you, Philip, for bringing up Carl?
Yeah.
Sorry, Carl.
This fool Irish Jim says, question for me, Godzilla versus Jason. Of course it's Godzilla. Godzilla's gonna stomp that guy.
Jason
versus Godzilla, like Jason Voorhees versus Godzilla. Sold on Godzilla. If that's the case, I love Parasite. I heard that show is good though. It is interesting. Yes, Pamela being a fucking unit. That woman was strong. Strong as fuck during the first film. Like, she bodied people. Yeah, dude. Pamela didn't play it. I'm looking forward to Sly Stallone's new series on the Paramount Plus. How about you guys?
Me too. Definitely. It's one of my must. That's
apart from that?
Warlock. Is it? No, not Warlock. Willow. This is probably one of my most anticipated shows to watch because I'm a huge Stallone fan. And to see him playing a gangster just out of prison after 20 years, and he's going to this place called Tulsa, and he's going to run it. And it's written by the Sopranos.
Tulsa, where the race riots happen. Like,
well, I mean, this is a location in the US, so I'm not really sure about Tulsa. All I know is that Stallone,
Tulsa, the riot, like the massacre happened, like, the Black Wall Street massacre, like that.
I'm not sure. All I know is a place called Tulsa. I get the impression it's a quiet kind of an area. I don't know.
I hope he's picking a different Tulsa. I hope it's a different one because that'll be kind of dark, but all right.
But he's out of prison after 20 years of being the mafia. He was high up. He's one of the bosses. And he's just come out. It's a TV show on Paramount. And he expects big things when he comes out. But he's sent to this small town, Tulsa. It's like they've knocked him out of the way and they pushed him to the side. And, he's going to start taking over and running things there. It's written by The Sopranos, and I still think to this day, Sopranos is the #1 greatest TV show of all time. And it's written by them, and I'm so looking forward to it. And I want to see Stallone do something outside of Rocky and action a bit more, just to see how he can do. He's the right age for it. He looks the part. The trailer looks really good. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for bringing that up. We'll see more of it when it comes out soon, I think. Any more questions?
Tulsa King. Brad says, I heard John Carpenter tease that this may not be the end of Halloween. Do you think he would ever take another stab at something? I think John Carpenter should take on something else. I think if he's gonna make something, it should be something brand new. I don't think he should mess with like any of his older projects. I think he should just do something new.
Halloween will be rebooted in a few years from now.
Of course,
right? But I think he needs to put his name to something different and new and original now, because he is good at original stuff. And I mean, sometimes it's a miss, but I'm just saying he should just stay away. He made it, he created it. But if he goes back anyway, so
Jim pulled it up. New York Mafia capo Dwight Manfredi is released from prison after 25 years and exiled by his boss to set up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Realized that his mob family may not have been his best interest in mind. Yeah, so that's where Black Wall Street happened. That's fucked up. Okay. If you don't know about Black Wall Street, they were supposed to make a movie about it. I don't know if they ever did it though. So what happened was that there was like this huge, they call it a race riot, but it wasn't a race riot, it was a massacre. The white citizens of the town like killed a bunch of people, a bunch of the black residents and burned everything to the ground. This was a very prominent African-American historical neighborhood that was making tons of freaking money, and they burned it down to nothing. It's a ridiculous story. It's a crazy story when you look into it, but that's something for a different day though.
Okay. Well,
another escape movie. John Carpenter should do another escape from Escape from New York.
New York, Escape from LA. They're actually, I actually really like them both. I actually even like the Escape from LA, which is pretty much a carbon copy of New York, but still really enjoyed it. It looks terrible. Even the CGI and the effects for its day was bad, but I still like it. And you got Kurt Russell playing the Snake Plissken. So yeah, I'd love to see. You know what? That would be something if he's going to do something to do with something he's already created. I wouldn't mind seeing another one of those.
The Tulsa Massacre is a part of the plot for the Watchmen TV show. I didn't know that. I wanted to do that.
What's that?
Well, Jim was telling me that the Watchmen TV show. I wanted to watch. I never got around to it.
I loved the film. I thought the film was great.
The film was amazing. Look at Jeepers Creepers. Just why? All right, so look, Jeepers Creepers. That dude that got Jeepers Creepers was an idiot. Like when I sat in the movie theater and this dumb motherfucker walked up in front of the screen and said, "Hey, just to let you know, we only had X amount of time to film this movie, and we had COVID restrictions, so we did what we could." I was like, "Oh my god, this is about to be a piece of shit." I was like, "This is about to be fucking terrible." And I'm sitting there thinking, like, that doesn't mean anything because you literally you announced this movie X amount of time ago. You had so much time to reshoot it. COVID restrictions were lowered. So there's no reason why this movie should have looked like that. But I will say this, and I'll say this confidently. I want to petition for Damien Leone, who you don't know. If you don't know who that is, as a director for Terrifier, for him to get the rights of Jeepers Creepers. I think that'll make sure that everything is on point. Damien Leone for the director of Jeepers Creepers. Give that man the rights to that character. Let's go.
Well, you didn't like the last Jeepers Creepers?
Yeah. I loved it. You know, that CGI throw.
Yeah. That was
hilarious.
Neat. But yeah, any more before we go?
Nah, it looks about it.
Well, look, it was a great episode. I'm glad that you guys came and joined us.
Next Sunday, make sure you guys all pull up, and then make sure you guys bring a friend.
Do that. Please join us next week. And if you guys like what we're doing, we will start doing more. But once we start building up a community, it takes time. And believe me, it's tougher than you think to arrange a show, to figure out what we're going to say, how we're going to say it. It just takes effort. We spend all week. It's a lot, and we would do more, but we just need to build a community. And we'll go again next Sunday and see how we go. But
yeah, guys, make sure. Look, I know Del Boy already said it, but please make sure that you guys support both the channels. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Subscribe to his channel if you haven't. Make sure you guys pull up back next week. We're going to start doing this same time next week, same time. So make sure that you guys pull up and just hang out with us. We love having these chat. We love interacting with people. And then make sure that you guys invite people. Like, I know that everybody in here loves movies. I know you know somebody else that loves movies. Invite them. Tell them to come on through. You know, bring them with you.
And if you have any ideas for subjects and topics, let us know in the comments, and we'll consider putting that as a subject next week. You know, like is it Carl who just said about Friday the 13th? That would have been a good subject tonight.
Giselle, my wife asked if you ever bought your Ariel Wise purse.
What?
My wife asked Giselle if she ever bought her Ariel Wise shirt. She knows what I'm talking about.
All right.
Yeah, because on my horror haul, my wife showed off that she got this really cool purse from this guy that he mixes Disney characters with horror characters. And he mixed Ariel from The Little Mermaid and he mixed it with Pennywise. So he created this character called Ariel Wise. And Giselle was super interested in getting that purse, or she said it looked really sick. So my wife was asking if she ever got it.
Then what purse have you got?
Oh, I got a bunch, bro. I got a whole closet with purses in it. You want to come see?
Yeah, I'm on the way. What's the weather like over there?
This room is hot, but it's starting to cool down. I need to open up a door.
Outside,
I have the doors and windows closed because like I don't want the noise from the traffic to come into the house because my mic picks up all that.
I mean, you guys, what's the temperature hot outside? Can you wear a t-shirt?
No, it's like it's cool. Like the weather's cooling down. It's like 70s or something.
Well, we're in the UK, and I got up this morning and I opened the windows, and all the leaves are brown, and the sky was grey. And California dreaming. Oh my God! Did you see what I did there? See that you were in California? I was.
Hopefully, this man could come to California next year
for the request as well. By the way, so you know, just hit me with it, and I'll do you one. But
hey, so look, guys, if Del Boy comes to California next year for Monster Palooza, maybe it'll be possible for this man to like live stream or something. We'll figure it out. Hopefully, we get enough subs so we can live stream it while we're there.
Because Neve Campbell, he didn't give my number, and I'm hoping she's there so I can give it to her personally. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Right.
But anyway,
Del answered the question. She said, "I did not." But there's a whole collection, and they are all amazing. So I will pass that message on to my wife.
Well, again, thank you all for joining us and the support and the questions. We had a really enjoyable show. The breaking news this week wasn't massive, but you know what? It's still something. Once the breaking,
you guys have fun.
But I think that's all we have to say, unless there's any more questions. I'd like to thank again everyone for joining. You are all great, and I love you all. And please subscribe.
Irish Jim says, "Do you want to share a flight?" Hey Jim, did you ever get your autograph? Have you got it yet? Like, is it close? Is it in your country yet?
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys don't know, I'm the man. Irish Jim will tell you he owes me like forever. But anyway,
what happened to Tom Atkins?
Oh, dude. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I didn't get the call. I see who you.
Hey, look, man, Tom Atkins was outside by himself.
I really like the Irish people more than the.
But check this out though. Tom Atkins was outside by himself, and I low key wanted to be like, I wanted to just walk up and talk to him, but like I felt like he just was like he wanted to get the fuck away from people. Like that's what it felt like. He just wanted to get away from people. Like he was literally sitting there, like looking up, going, like he was just like all these fucking people. Because that convention was packed. I mean, it was ass to ass packed. We were literally like ass to ass. Like it was crazy, especially on Saturday. He said Atkins was probably looking for some hot babes. Tom Atkins think he's slick. Tom Atkins is a fucking flirt, but he think he's slick. But anyway,
look. We'll talk all day if we wanted to, but you know what? We're going to be here next week at this exact same time. Hit the notification bell and you'll be let know. But for me and Davey, we'll see you next time.
And don't forget, you are now exiting our universe. Goodbye.
Masters of the Cineverse.
Masters of the
See you all soon, you royal boobs. I can't wait.